The thing about the Wind River Reservation is we're still one of the #1 conservation places in the lower 48s. We don't build infrastructure past the snow fence line. We don't want housing, we don't want buildings, we don't want to ruin the landscape for wildlife. We want to keep it pristine. This is one of the most unique areas and stuff. So it's the size of Yellowstone, better population of wildlife than Yellowstone has. I'm Art Lawson. I'm the director of Shoshone Arapaho Tribal Fish and Game. I'm an enrolled Northern Arapaho Tribal member.
My name is Cliff Watson. I am the Youth Fly Fishing Programs Manager for Trout Unlimited. Five Rivers is a program created by Trout Unlimited and Costa Sunglasses. It's been around for over a decade now. But the goal is to create conservation-minded fly fishing clubs across the country on college campuses.
We weren't born and raised, and we haven't always just lived on a reservation. This is just what we have left to work with. We were nomadic, just like the buffalo, the elk, the bighorn sheep, and everything else. We roamed throughout the whole United States and not just one certain section. The Northern Arapaho members were pushed up north, running away from the Calgary, ended up on the Wind River Indian Reservation, and became half owners of all the land on the reservation. When it first started, it was over 30 million acres big. Within 2 years, it was down to 3 million. Throughout the years, it's decreased since then. Protecting our natural resources has always been a part of both tribes. The grizzly bear, the moose, the wolf, those are also our relatives, and that's how we see them too. We've been working with getting the tribal youth and our tribal females involved and showing them the opportunities.
Having fly fishing as an outlet and having fly fishing as a core element of community is really valuable for people, right? We have two incredible partners, one being IndieFly, another Costa Cause partner, and then the other being the Shoshone and Arapaho Fish and Game Department.
IndieFly, basically what we try and do is create sustainable economy through fly fishing practice, through fly fishing ecotourism. We just kind of guide them in this and try and find funding and support that we can, help them get out and fish and have fun and have a good time. And boredom is a big issue, right? Summertime's long. What do? And then different bad habits can creep in.
But getting our youth involved and getting them away from the high suicide rates, the high alcohol usage, the drugs, and everything else. We have an 88% unemployment rate on the reservation. We want to try to eliminate that problem. The goal is to get our tribal members to become guides in fly fishing, work in the outdoors, always stay in the outdoors. It's the healthiest career choice anybody can make is through conservation or hunting, fishing, anything else in the outdoors.
That's what our Five Rivers clubs do on their college campuses, and that's what the Fish and Game Department of the Shoshone and Arapaho tribes are also doing. They're recognizing the ability that fly fishing has to build community, and they're leaning into it. And the Wind River Reservation is really a great place to do that.
This is my second year on the Ambassador Summit, and this trip has just provided me with so much knowledge of how communities work together and how everybody just needs an outlet of the outdoors, but also how much we need each other. Between us college students, or between us and the IndieFly organization, between us and Wind River and IndieFly, all these different communities that work together have really just showed me how much people matter to people.
It was really incredible to see little girls who were 4 and 5 really excited about getting to fly fish and learn how to fly fish. And then also seeing there was a few that just killed it in the casting competitions, and we're just so excited to be out there, and didn't really feel like they had to be pressured into it.
Nice job, yo.
First time.
Bro.
Oh.
I noticed that the sense of community on the reservation is like a huge part of just living on the reservation for the people who live there.
2 years in a row, the community has just blown expectations out of the water and driven an hour to 2 hours up a bumpy ass backcountry road to a little tiny brookie stream and smiled and laughed and had fun and caught fish and learned to appreciate the things we love.
If we can just be a little bit patient and actually able to tie on different fly. And that's where you have to match what fly you're using to what's eating during that time of years. Like if you're hungry for a cheeseburger and your mom asks if you want a salad, are you gonna eat that salad? You are gonna eat that salad? Better than me. So this is called an elk hair caddis, and that hair right there is from an elk. This is made to look like a bug that eats. So a caddis is a type of bug that the fish eat. And right now there are some fungus around here, so we're gonna tie on one of these.
My dad used to take us fishing. I had a cousin, an older cousin. He was a real outdoorsman, and he always took us fishing and taught me to fly fish. And, you know, it was a great impact. You know, other than us getting in trouble, and good lesson. And I hope, you know, pass that on to my kids and their generation. You know, yeah, it's crazy how the world works today. So if you can get them away from Wi-Fi, then you're doing good. Even if you just take them up here for a drive, let them get wet, swim. As long as they're outside, you know, getting back to Mother Nature.
We were at the community fly fishing day at St. Lawrence Base, and I asked Jeremy, what is the history of fly fishing with this reservation? And he looked at me and said, we're making it. This is the history of fly fishing on this reservation. And that was so powerful to me because I wouldn't have thought that we are setting the base, we are setting the blueprint for this fly fishing or conservation or stewardship community that Indy Fly is trying to create here.